Welcome to the 12th session of Cyber Offenses and Cyber Crimes. In today's session, we will study different types of services of cloud computing and risk while using cloud computing. Different services provided by cloud computing are as follows. The first one is infrastructure as service, also called as IaaS. Just like for electricity or water bill, customers can pay for exactly the amount of service they use. This service is also called utility computing. It is like Amazon Web Services that provide virtual servers with unique IP addresses and blocks of storage on demand. Customers benefit from an application programmable interface from which they can control their servers. Second one, platform as a service, also called as PaaS. In this type, a set of software and development tools are made available on the provider's servers. Developers can create application using the provider's API. Google App is one of the most famous PaaS providers. Developers should take notice that there are not any interoperability standards. Therefore, some providers may not allow you to take your application and put it on another platform. Third one is software as a service, also called as SaaS. It is the broadest market. In this case, the provider allows the customer only to use its applications. The software interacts with the user through a user interface. This application can be anything from web-based email to applications such as Twitter. So basically, in IaaS, you can use server as per your need or demand, which is stored on cloud computing. In PaaS, you can use variety of softwares, and using those softwares you can create your own application which are available on provider's server. And in SaaS, you can use only applications which are available on provider's server. Nowadays, prime area of the risk in cloud computing is protection of user data. Following are some major areas of risk in cloud computing domain. The first one is elevated user access. Any data processed outside the organization will create the level of risk, as outsourced services may bypass the physical, logical, and personal controls and will have elevated user access to such data. Second one, regulatory compliance. Cloud computing service providers are not able and not willing to undergo external assessment. This can result into non-compliance with various standards or laws. Third one, location of the data. The organizations that are obtaining cloud computing services may not be aware about where the data is hosted and may not even know in which country it is hosted. Third one, segregation of data. As the data will be stored under stored environment, encryption mechanism should be strong enough to separate the data from other organizations whose data are also stored under the same server. Next one, recovery of the data. If something goes wrong, the availability of the services and data without any disruption is not possible. Application environment and IT infrastructure across multiple sites are vulnerable to a total failure. Sixth one, information security violation reports. Due to complex IT environment and several customers log in and log out of the host, it becomes difficult to trace inappropriate and illegal activities. Seventh one, long-term viability. In case of any major change in the cloud computing service provider, the service of cloud computing will be stopped. So this ends your first part of second unit. In this unit, we have studied how criminals plan the attack, different phases of planning cyber crime. Next, we have studied what is social engineering and classification of social engineering. Next, we have studied what is cyber stalking, types of stalkers, and how stalker works. Next, we have studied what is the role of cyber cafe in cyber crime. Then we have studied facts about cyber cafe, and then we have studied tips to secure the computers in cyber cafe. Next, we have studied what is botnet, and then we have studied how to secure the system from botnet. Next, we have studied attack vector, and then we have studied how vector attacks are launched in cyber crime. Next, we have studied cloud computing, and then we have studied in cloud computing advantages of cloud computing, different types of services available in cloud computing, and risk associated with cloud computing. So that's it for today's session. In next session, we will start second part of second unit. In that, we will see how mobile and wireless devices are used in cyber crime.